Good afternoon. How are you today? I had a lovely conversation this morning with my dear friend Gerda, and we were talking about CEO mindset and the topic that I'll be talking about at the Elevate conference in September, which is how to adopt, or basically the importance of adopting a CEO mindset in the face of uncertain times, such as we're in at the moment. And one of the questions that Gerda asked me, it's been rattling around in my head all day ever since, was she asked me a couple of questions about failure. And one of the questions she asked was something about, what are the types of failures that I would wish for you to avoid in business. And through that discussion, we got talking about, we all make a lot of failures and we all learn by those. And I think we're becoming more accustomed to language in our community about the importance of learning through failure, and that failure really isn't failure. We stumble, we trip, we experiment with things, and we figure out what works and what doesn't work, and we learn from those experiences, and we adopt the new learning and we move forward, right? So failure isn't really failure, but we certainly make mistakes in business, right? And what I said to Gerda this morning was, I still make mistakes. And I think the issue for many business owners, and this is one of the things I talk about with adopting a CEO mindset, is that, we shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. We shouldn't be afraid to try things, see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, well, we still learned something. But more important than that is we should absolutely not be expecting ourselves to never make a mistake. We shouldn't be believing that we will reach a stage where we become mistake proof, because that doesn't happen. And because we keep trying new things, because we keep experimenting in our businesses, because we're brave and we're visionary and we see new opportunities, we take risks. And of course, with those risks, some of them work out, some of them don't, some of them lead to great ideas, some of them lead to real duds. That's okay. But the important thing is that we don't set ourselves up to believe that we should never make another mistake once we've got there, because there is no there to get to, right? One of the things that worries me is, especially with new business owners, is this belief that as a business owner, especially once you take on team members, this belief that you should know all the answers. You should know how everything works. You should know the solutions to all the problems. You should know absolutely all the ins and outs of everything to do with your industry. That is such an unrealistic expectation to put on ourselves, and yet we still do it. So I think, tying those two concepts together, we need, first of all, to cut ourselves a little bit of slack and remind ourselves that there is absolutely no way that we can ever know everything there is to know about our own industries. And thank you, Miles. That's very kind kisses from you. Um, and when we say those words out loud, we know that that's an irrational belief to have. The trouble is, in the quiet, in the middle of the night when we can't sleep because we've got a tax bill or whatever it might be, that's the noise that's going through our mind. I should have seen this coming. I should have foreseen that this problem would arise. I should have put something in place to prevent this happening. I should. Or when a staff member comes to you and you don't know the answer to their problem, and feeling stupid because you don't have the answer to their problem. These pressures that we put on ourselves, they absolutely undermine our confidence, and we're doing it to ourselves. It undermines our confidence. It undermines our ability to demonstrate to our staff that it's okay to not know the answers. Something I've deliberately practiced over the years, once I realized I was putting that pressure on myself, one of the things I deliberately practiced over the years was making a conscious effort to say when I didn't know the answer to something, and then making sure I would either find out the answer myself or find someone who did know the answer, and demonstrating to my team that it was okay to not know the answer to something, and that it was okay to ask questions and to find information out as you needed to go forward. There is no benefit in putting pressure on yourself to know all the answers all at once. And there is no benefit in putting pressure on yourself to believe that you should never fail, because if we never fail, it means we've never really tried hard enough. If we never fail, it's because we've not taken the risks. if we never fail, it's because we've avoided growth and change. So there's a lovely quote from J.K. Rowling where she says something along the lines of, we all have to fail at something. That's the nature of life. And if we never ever fail at anything, it's because we've not really lived. And what's the point then? Then you've failed by default, right? So I want you all to take a nice, cool, calming breath. Remind yourself that mistakes are part of the process because that's how we learn. So I use the analogy of toddlers. They're never going to learn to walk if they don't stumble as they try. We're the same. So I still make mistakes. I'm very upfront and open about the fact that I still make mistakes. I still have areas where I'm still learning. I still have areas where sometimes I drop the ball or take my eyes off the prize and something falls through the net. I'm human just like you. So because I'm a business coach, it's my job to help you avoid certainly some of the mistakes and errors and things that I've had to learn the hard way. But that doesn't make me impervious to new mistakes because, of course, I'm always expanding and learning and trying and developing my businesses too. So remind yourself that you're human. It's okay to make mistakes. It's through mistakes that we learn, and it's through that fear of failure that we stay small. And I don't want that for you either. So have a fabulous afternoon. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to fail. That's where the growth happens. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.